Sieta o si Carnaval. Welcome back, you guys. It is the Eurovision Fan Weekly stream. I am Shortcake ESC here, joined by.
Hi, it's me, Lili Love Stuff, and here we are on the weekly
Mhm.
stream. Thank you guys so much for joining us once again. If you're here already, go ahead, just hit like so we can get that little algorithmic boost as the stream goes on. And this week it was a bit quiet, I would say, wouldn't you? And so we don't have a lot to talk about, but we do have the results from Festivali Kёnges, and we're going to talk about the songs that Luxembourg is putting out as well. So yeah, that sounds like a bit of stuff we're going to discuss here.
I mean, the beginning of this year was a little rocky, a little tumultuous, and then now we're kind of hitting a slow spot. So until kind of approaching mid-January, early January, into mid-January, we should start seeing some more updates as they come out, including what I believe to be the next song selected from a national selection, which would be Luxembourg at the end of January.
And then Luxembourg's the 25th, and then after Luxembourg, it's Greece. And then it's Spain. I think there's like 3 national finals happening on the same day, like the first week of February. So it's going to be like Spain, Belgium, and who else? Because I had written it down last night.
Spain, Belgium, and it'll be another one. Lithuania. Lithuania will have a third heat on that day.
Well, yeah, but yeah.
Oh, selecting on that weekend is
like
what you're saying.
That Saturday is super busy. Like super busy compared to what it usually is.
Yeah, and that's when we will have the next selected song from the national selections, and those songs are actually going to be the other topic of today, and we'll get to that after discussing Festivali Këngës. But first, the articles and site updates.
Yes,
I can start off with articles if you want to talk about Augusto's project.
Okay, cool.
So, with the new articles, you guys, this was a Christmas article. Merry belated Christmas, by the way. It's so good to know that we have all of you as our community. But check out the article, Eurovision Stocking Stuffers, because each country needs something. Each country has some sort of need that they want in Eurovision, whether it be better publicity or just a better snack. At the end of the day, we all can find some kind of way to support the country in a particularly kind of kitsch little fun way. So go ahead and check out how we thought to gift some things to these delegations in the Eurovision Stocking Stuffers article.
Yep, and then we currently have an ongoing project on our social media sites, Instagram and not YouTube. Oh my God, Twitter, is that the one? I haven't been on Twitter in so long. Out of the loop. But yeah, on Instagram and Twitter, Augusto from our team. Look how he's here. Has been doing some posts every day, kind of going over stuff for the year. I'm sorry, it's not really super descriptive, but they've been really cute and really enjoyable. So I would say check those out. If you're not following us already on those 2 sites, you should definitely do that so you can get a little eyeful of those each day.
Yeah, and so once again, you guys, this coming next couple weeks is going to be a little on the slower side, but we will have content for you all because there's a lot of stuff that we want to discuss, and we know that you want to share with us too. So hang tight, and until January 25th, I believe, is when we're going to be just hanging in there for the next national final song.
Yeah, like I'm looking at it now. Next week is really quiet. Friday, we'll get the wild cards for Vidbeer.
Yay!
Then on Monday we have the wild card for Estee Lauder, whatever, being announced. UMK artists come out on the 8th.
That will be huge. That will be a moment.
Very excited. But January 11th is when things pick up because almost like always, Lithuania has to be one of the first national finals that actually has like weeks long built up. So they'll be kicking it off. But then after that, it does start to get on the busier side. Like when I was looking at it, I was like, wow, a lot of stuff is happening in January. But it's kind of like backloaded on the second half of the month. All right. So we did have results from Festivali Këngës, and let's go ahead and get into those guys. Results.
Yeah, you guys, one of the privileges about being in the earlier end of a national finals is that we get to talk about it more because there's a lot less happening with everybody else. So we
Hmm.
actually get to like dive into somewhat good detail about more recent ones. So winning Festivali Këngës 2020, sorry, Festivali Këngës 63 in
Hmm.
2024 for 2025 was Shkodra Elektronika with Zjerm. Yup,
Yep.
yup,
Yep. I
yup.
think I think we're all happy about this. I don't know if anyone in the fandom was like upset.
Mhm.
I feel like honestly, I really do feel like lately Festivali Kёnges results are all things that we can agree on for the most part.
So far, yeah, I've not really been disappointed in that correlation at all.
Yeah, like I just because it's like one of those things where last year we were all very confused about who won Festivali Kånges, but we
And then
weren't
confused
confused
about,
about who
I mean, I
we
wasn't
weren't.
like
Sorry, go
confused
on.
isn't the word I would use for that sensation, but you're right.
Like we were very confused about what happened with the actual winner of the contest, but not who got to go to Eurovision. That made
Yeah.
perfectly good sense to all of us. The year before, we were kind of united on that as well, even though,
Mhm.
once we got to Eurovision, things didn't go the best
They
way
didn't go,
ever.
yeah, they didn't go the way that they really should have.
But yeah, like we we're kind of united in our enjoyment there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So Elodie says yum 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 yum. I am so happy. I was really prepared to see them lost at the last minute. Yeah. Um
Yeah,
no,
I
I
didn't think they
agree.
would do it. I did not think they would do it. I felt like it was just too out there. It was too austere for
Hmm.
Albania to really be confident in trying to send, but I was wrong.
And then the Lindy says deserved winner.
Mhm.
Agreed completely. Very deserved winner that we got. And it's like it's such an interesting song. It doesn't sound like anything else I can really point my finger at, but it
I
does
was
have like
trying to. Mhm.
it has a very like strong artistic direction, and it's like creative and interesting. It's like it's one of those things where like stuff happens in the song that's unexpected, and it always feels fresh each time you listen to it. Still.
Yeah, there's something, it's like anytime I try to describe it, I almost want to call the melody unusual. It's such an unusual melody, but
Hmm.
it's so new and it's just I've never heard anything really like this before. It just in music in general. I don't know if it's the combination of elements. I don't know if it's the kind of like a slight dissonance between the vocal melody and the instrumental melody because there is just kind of like a slight offishness, but it's
Hmm.
so rugged and artistically raw. And it's performance heavy, like it's very performance forward. The way that Beatrice, I believe her name uh, is able to really have the camera focus. Yeah, Albania made an awesome decision, and also credit to El Dani as well. Everyone say hi, Rue.
Hi, Rue. Oh, look at her. Oh, I
Everyone
can't say that
credit,
because then mine's gonna come.
yeah. El Dani deserves credit as well because she was the artistic director for this
Hmm.
year, and she is intent on making Festivali Këngës something legendary for Albania. So far, I feel like we're on track for that.
Yeah, no, it's been really good this year, and the last couple of years have been really good. It's like they're playing around with things, but they're still keeping it true to what the show is.
Mhm.
And I really do appreciate that. Like I'm looking at the result. The winners won the jury not by a lot. The jury, gave them 78,
Mhm.
where like was it text voting gave them 42. So they won the jury and they won texting. They did
Mhm.
not win the online jury though, or the online votes. The winner of the online votes was also second place for both. Well, second place kind of overall and second place in online and overall in the contest, and that would
Mhm.
be Alvana with Carnival. Um, I'm gonna say it now that the show's over. I
Mhm.
felt disappointed by this song when it was released. I'm not gonna lie. My expectations were
Okay.
much higher.
Why is that?
Um, because Maytana was so good, and Elvana's other music is so good. To me,
Mhm.
Carnival kind of felt like she was phoning it in a bit. Um,
Mm, that's fair.
and so that was kind of like just disappointing for me. Um, yeah, yeah.
I do understand what you're saying, but this song was some like it once again struck that Filipino nerve in me. Like it has just that kind of specific sound that calls to me, and it is reminiscent of like old Filipino like TV shows from the early 2000s kind of a sound. I
Yeah.
think that's part of why I was able to latch onto it so easily, but it's also due to the fact that Ivana is a star performer too. You could tell that she was giving this her all. And after such a disappointing end of term in Festivali Këngës, uh, the one in which she lost, I believe it was 68,
Hmm.
got second place prior, got getting second place again with what I believe to be an equally on par song. But the difference is, I actually really respect this song as opposed to the song that won at that time, kind of a
Okay.
thing.
Yeah, I can get that. It's just like for
Hmm.
me, I felt like the choreo wasn't where I wanted to be, and there was like enough kinetic energy there
Hmm.
to really sell Carnival for me. Um,
The
yeah,
steps
I
thing
just
was a little weird. I'm sorry, like that was a little weird to just inject that, like where it
yeah,
was. Yeah, it wasn't
yeah,
everywhere it should have been. It kind of felt like Eurovision pop girl performance, you know? It didn't
yeah.
have that curiosity that Jerem got to like summon within everybody because it was a very curiosity piquing song as
No,
opposed to
you're
this
right.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just trying to see. Anyone else you want to talk about?
Okay, so it was a good show, you guys. For
Hmm.
everything that's been said, this was a really respectable show. And third place, Alice Miegu. I like a lot of things about it. I like the visual element of it. I like the fact that he gives everything to this performance. I didn't like the song. I felt like it was nothing, and he was over singing it. So I don't understand why he got third place, but I can kind of see why.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's my comment on like the last of the top three. Do you have anything to say about that performance?
It was. I honestly, I don't remember it. If I'm being completely transparent, I don't remember what happened. I was yesterday. Not yesterday. Last week after the stream was a daze for me.
Mm.
I was just kind of like in a space of like, okay, now what do I do with my time? It's just like, yeah, like I switched jobs, and like after changing jobs, I've just been very getting used to my schedule and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So
I
yeah,
hate that period of time. I hate that transitional period where you're literally just trying to figure out what the next hour is going to be. Ah,
yeah,
it's a
yeah,
lot to get through.
basically.
I empathize fully.
I'm like, maybe I'm just getting old. I don't know. Um, that might be it. That could very well be it. But yeah, I'm just kind of looking at some more comments here.
Hmm.
From Augusto, Alhaida should stay on as the artistic director for FIC. IMA, IMHO.
I
Yeah,
agree.
no,
Hmm.
yeah,
This was a
100%.
very experimental fifth year, and it was pulled off well.
Yeah. And then it looks like we have a couple of people agreeing on this one. I'm going to just highlight Elodie's comment. I was surprised to see the public being really into the song. This is in regard to Zerm. Into song and almost fight over the possible loss when they didn't get the 12 points. But it's refreshing and so original. I just need to see it just needs the right staging. Okay.
Yes, 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 yes. And Albania can take a pretty simple staging and make it effective. That's
Yeah.
they can do that. They don't always do that, but they can.
And this is just Lorendi agreeing with Elodie,
Hmm.
which is exactly they have the real potential for a top 10 with great staging. Yeah, and then again, we're seeing another comment, which is imagine if Sweden, Ukraine, or Sweden had the song and needed to do staging.
Well, Ukraine would pull it off.
Yeah, Sweden. Number one, Sweden doesn't have the cojones to send something that's daring and different.
You know they would send it with like pink lasers and styrofoam buildings. Like you know that's how Sweden would do it.
Yeah. And then I'm just seeing a couple more comments here, which is Arya Winning Sun saying Carnival was giving 18th in the final in the most derogatory way possible. I think exactly. That is why I was kind of looking at it like, okay, okay, yeah, a little disappointing there.
Yeah, like that's kind of what happens to good junk food pop songs now. I mean, it's good, it's junk food, it's a pop song. That's what Carnival is. It doesn't have that immediate, like, you're interesting factor about it. It just did everything that it was trying to do right.
Mm-hmm.
Almost all of it.
And here's another point I think Elodie made as well that's very good, which is Carnival was a Eurovision fandom catnip. Personally, I wasn't into it, but I knew people who fell into that trap. I
Hmm.
think, yeah, like there's a certain subsect of the fandom that if they see a lady singing an upbeat song that has some kind of like drummy, I don't know, like World Cuppy elements to it, they love
Hmm.
it. Like they go, oh
Yeah,
yeah, this is great. This is exactly what I want here. And like there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like it's a little too by numbers for me, but isn't pulling off the execution. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, and the thing is, if you're gonna go for that football sound, then you have songs like Ale Ola Ole that kind of like put both feet into the mix and take that sound super seriously. This one kind of feels like it's skirting off of the elements that make it
Mm-hmm.
well sporty sounding and kind of still turning it into a Eurovision song. Ale Ola Ole didn't feel Eurovision-y at all. That just straight up felt like
Yeah.
it was written for a soccer game. Sorry, football. I forgot we're in an international space.
I'll call it soccer. I'm
Oh
not going to
no.
abandon my people.
Cowboy Carter up in here. Anyway.
Okay. No, honestly, I feel like, yeah, I feel like that's about right there.
Mhm.
So let's talk about Luxembourg because
Yeah.
they
Okay.
released their
This is
songs.
this is gonna be a very short stream, you guys. Like because this is the only other topic that we really have. But with that said, Luxembourg, have you guys heard the songs?
Oh wait, hold on
Because
a second before we move on to Luxembourg. I'm just
oh, okay,
looking at
okay, yeah.
a
Let's.
comment. We got a comment from somebody in Albania.
Mhm.
So we have a dash not. As an Albanian, I wanted Alvana to represent Albania at ESC. All elements weren't working on FIC. She has the money and the budget to work on it. She's very happy with Zerm. I'm sorry, still very happy with Zerm. Hope Alvana comes back. Agreed. I would love to
Yeah.
see Alvana come back because here's the thing. I know she would be better at Eurovision than she would be at FIC, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Like, there's just when you show up to Festivali Kёnges, you're showing up and there's a certain expectation of what we need to do. And yeah, we're seeing more experimentation with staging and directions that the staging can take there, but we're still like in the baby stages of that, like
Hmm.
the baby beginnings of seeing something other than a more static performance.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, totally. Because then you're given space, then you're given more camera angle options. You're given a lot. You're just given a lot more by that time, and more importantly, you're given practice. But
yeah,
yeah, that is what we lose out on. I do agree that she should come back and that she shouldn't give up because she does have the capability to win this thing. But the the thing I feel, and this can be my closing thought about Albania as well. Um, Carnival was right for Eurovision in that it had that televote kind of sound. So that kind of just it my instant reaction is that would get a better result
mm-hmm.
because it has that wider appeal. But Zjerm, on the other hand, is a song that is experimental, and as we know in Eurovision, that can go either way. People can
Yeah,
really be turned off by that, or they can really get with it. It's a huge gamble, but I think Albania chose it because they felt like it was the right song for them. And I agree with that. I agree with that. I just feel like that is the song that it's more risking pulling off something good than risking not being accessed.
mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's go back over to Luxembourg now.
Mhm.
So I feel like most people are kind of like in the same boat as me, which is like, okay, Luxembourg, what is your
Well,
identity
let's get to
here?
the devil in the detail, shall we?
Right. So we have War Thorn performing La Pupi Monte de. Oh my gosh. Let me get into a French mindset. This is going to be the problem because they have so many languages. I gotta switch between things. Let's get in the mindset to pronounce French words without sounding like the most American person ever. Okay. Laura Thorne will be performing La Poupée Monte les Sons. And then we have Luzac with Je Danse. Mana with Human Eyes. One Last Time Gambler's Song. Rafaela is back. No Thank You. Oh, One Last Time was their last two, weren't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
One of them, yeah, Rafaela was in a duo last year.
And then one last time was there last year too, like as a band
Hmm.
or okay, anyways. And then we have Rhythmic Soul Wave with Stronger and 0.5 with Ride. So those are our options that we have. It's better than last year.
Yes, it is better than last year.
We're still dealing with a lot of Swedish songwriting camp songs getting pushed around.
Whew. Yeah, I I'm sorry, continue. Like my thought is not quite there yet regarding these. Actually it is. I'm just trying to make it good for streaming.
Okay. I'm sorry about that. He jumped up and landed right and then kept going.
Period.
And that kind of knocked my mic out. So, yeah, that's what happened there. I am sorry about that. Here's the thing with him. He wants to act like he wants attention, and then as soon as you touch him, he wants to run off again. Um, so yeah,
Oh, he's in demon mode.
he is in demon mode. Yeah, but
Rue's gonna
anyways,
get that way very soon.
I'm just thinking about how to break this down. So, um, right, we have songs. I think we're doing better than last year. Okay.
I agree.
Um, I feel like something I think is interesting is La Poupée Monte le Son because
Hmm.
it's like I'm hearing like an interpolation
Hmm.
of Poupée de ci, Poupée de son in it,
Hmm.
right? And it feels like it's harkening back to that, but like not being a straight up carbon copy, which I find to be an interesting choice.
Hmm.
Like, why not take one of the most, beloved Eurovision songs from the country you're trying to represent and kind of like give it a bit of a twist? Like, you're calling back to it, but you're not doing like a straight up copy. I think that's an interesting choice.
Hmm.
And it's not a bad song. It's just like one of those things where it's like, I like the idea of that, but I fear for how that's going to be executed, if that makes sense.
Yeah. The thing is, a lot of the viewers of Eurovision aren't really going to be the most knowledgeable on the history of musicians in Luxembourg,
Mm-hmm.
notwithstanding France Gall with Poupée de ci, Poupée de son. That I do understand the testament paid to that entry. I do understand that this is something that alludes to the tradition of music in Luxembourg and Eurovision, but it's not good. It's not good. Like, I don't like it as a song. It just, I don't know. I feel like it's trying too hard to go in a pop direction with its eyes closed in a way. It doesn't really feel like it's trying to do a ton of things super interesting other than pay the testament with the pun of it all. I'm disappointed with it. I know that it's one of the kind of most popular ones at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
but
Well, I
I
think
need to
it's
see
also popular
I need to
because
see it performed.
what I said. It's like an interpolation. It's like Eurovision fans are very predictable. If we haven't noticed, they kind of have things that they gravitate towards at
Mhm.
national finals. I think Je Danse has an appeal to it. I'm looking at the songwriters on that one as well, and that's one of them is Edson from last year, who I still listen to his song
Oh, Edson!
from
Oh my
last year.
gosh!
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a songwriter on that. I like it. I think it's got potential.
Okay.
It needs a revamp, but it has potential in it. That I just found it to be very appealing.
If I look at it from the lens of, oh, this is like a Eurovision 2011 kitchen sink song, it's
Oh
better
my
than,
gosh.
oh wow, this is a Luxembourg 2025 actually trying to go to Eurovision song. Like,
I think
I almost
I
want to
think
think
someone
of it
agrees with you.
retrospectively. What? Sounds like the musical equivalent. Well, I mean, there's just so many things. Like, I'm not trying to analyze it super, super in depth right now because that's not the point in the season where we do that. But
Yeah.
this is one of the songs that might be selected. And as I was listening to it passively and like half actively, it just was too many things. It was too many things being thrown at me at once without without kind of like, I guess, the red strings that the Code by Nemo had, because those were a lot of different elements all together that were tied together very well by good transitions. This is, it's not transitions, everything is overlapping each other. It all overlaps itself and it's just loud. It sounds like anxiety to me.
I mean, hey,
But
it
then again,
appeals to me in a
I'm
weird
just
way.
hateful, so yeah.
Maybe your heart's just full of hate. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you feel about No Thank You? Because I low key kind of love it.
I
And
love
like
it
a
for
kind
what
of
it
like
is.
disaster pop. I I like it. It's like it's just so over the top, clearly going straight diva. And like there's something about it that just like it transcends the borders of like I don't know how to phrase it. It's clearly like a Melfest reject, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But like it's enjoyably a Melfest reject.
I'm not gonna lie, it probably is the catchiest song out of out of the lineup. It probably is the catchiest song. Is it terrible? Yes. Will I love it? Probably. I just know where this is probably gonna go. And it's awful. It's an awful song, but that has very little bearing on me nowadays.
I mean, you can take a song and just polish it into something special, even though logically you know you shouldn't enjoy it. Like we've
Yeah.
had these conversations before. So our winning son says, I really love Rafaela. No, thank you. But I'm fully aware that it sounds like basically the song. Oh my gosh. I'm fully aware that this song is basically a Melfest Katiatu reject. Yeah, but it still hits. It still
I
hits.
I mean, it's still a bop in a way, like, and it's in the way that I feel like Luxembourg trying to do this seriously, it coming off so ironically, they don't even realize how strong that is, you know? They don't even
Yeah.
realize that this is so fermented, it's cultured into something that people actually like.
Yeah. And then I'm looking here.
Yeah, let's see
Let's
who's
see.
next.
I'm thinking. I'm just reading comments here.
Oh, okay, yeah, comments.
Lorenzi says, in the bland final, I gravitate towards most rock entry. So, which
Gambler
would be the
song?
rock entry? Gambler
Would that be
song or
Gambler?
Ride? I guess
I
Ride's kind of rocky.
it's more stomp clap hey, I would say.
I mean,
It's
it's
more like
still like
indie
it's
folk
like,
kind of
hey,
sound.
what was the name of that song? Who was that band that had that song called Hey Ho? The Lumineers. Wow,
Yeah,
that's
I
a
think
name I
so.
haven't thought of
Oh
in
my
like 10
god,
years. Wow,
the
how did I
Lumineers.
recall that?
Oof.
Here's my issue with the
I was never
Gambler
a fan of the
song.
music.
Here's my
The
problem.
Gamblers song.
It sounds like a Christian children's band. Lyric. It sounds like a Christian music take on the Gambler. I'd
It
rather
it
listen to the Gambler.
it feels like you're walking down the strip shirtless in Vegas in August, and someone pulls over, honks at you, and a cat calls you, and then runs away. And you walk into a casino anyways because it's the only place with air conditioning.
So
I
I think we have totally opposite reactions to that because I hear the song and I'm just thinking like youth group pastor trying to be cool.
Wow, I don't see that at all. No,
Really,
but explain it to me. Like let me access that. Explain it.
like sonically, it just has that sound to me. Like it sounds like when your friend invites you to. Okay, you know what? I'm still my mic's being. I apologize. I don't know how to fix this problem with the
It's
mic.
okay. We can hear like every 10th word.
I just
Just kidding.
cool, awesome. I'm gonna figure this out. I don't want to buy a new mic. I don't have money for that. Um,
Do
sorry.
you need to fix the mic really quick?
What is happening?
I mean, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. For some
Yeah.
reason, I just had my Spotify just started playing randomly, and it was playing like Islands in the Stream. I was like, wow, I listen to that song way too much for it to be healthy. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to look up what Gambler's song or whatever it's called.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it just has kind of like a yeah, it had like
It,
a vaguely youth groupy vibe to it. I don't know how else to describe it. I think it's just the way the vocalist sounds. It has like, "Hello, fellow youths. Let me sit in
oh
this chair
God.
backwards." Kind of like a
That
vibe. You
I
know what I
I do
mean?
see. Yeah, that I do see for sure.
Yeah.
But like I don't
Yeah.
like how it's trying so hard to be like a storytelling type song with the most atrocious melody on top of kind of a mediocre storytelling method. Like
Like I
I
said, it's trying to be the Gambler lyrically, but doesn't have the charm of, you got to know when
it's
to
like
hold them, know when to
it's like
fold them,
being a
know when to walk
gambler
away.
in Monte Carlo versus being a gambler in Vegas, I feel like is kind of the disparity I'm seeing here. Because when I think gambling, I think more so Las Vegas, Sweden 2005 in the way that you would kind of show that. I mean, I get that that's not going to be every case for
How dare
gambling.
you mention Las Vegas in front of me? You know how I feel about that song.
I'm just saying, if you're going for going for like a gambling theme, that is one that you could lean on safely. This doesn't lean on anything. I'm not saying it has to lean on the like Vegas theme, but it doesn't really give anything stylistically. It's just so bland to me. It's so unfascinating, and
Imagine,
but it is
imagine.
better than Devil in the Detail. It is.
It is better than Devil in the Detail. Um, Still, yeah. I'm just looking at, we kind of talk about every song. It feels like we're gonna talk about almost every song here. Um, Rhythmic Soul Wave with Stronger. This is like a theme park situation.
Oh, it's my favorite. Why do you say theme park? Wait, yeah, explain that to me.
Um, how do I explain this? It sounds like, so on TikTok at one point, I got really into, like, deep into people performing school musicals,
Mhm.
and the musical product, like the teacher in charge of picking the musical they were going to do, was it choosing songs or was it choosing musicals appropriate for the demographic of the school?
Oh, oh, I know about cases like that for sure. Yeah,
Jordan,
and
when I tell you I watched an all white production of Miss Saigon and just
wait, like, but I know what that musical's about.
yeah,
An
that's not
all-white
even the worst.
production, huh?
That's not even the worst one.
Wait, then what's worse?
All white production of Dreamgirls. Oh no, or was
What?
it the Hairspray one?
Oh,
It was Hairspray. Hairspray was worse because how do you do
no.
an
Wait,
all
Hairspray is definitely
Hairspray?
worse. It's
Yeah,
definitely worse.
how do you do that? Like,
I I I thought it was bad when I was in a nearly all-white production of To Kill a Mockingbird that had two black people. But this,
anyways, I I'm not. I'm just saying it has a theme parky. It's too clean.
it's too
Is the
clean.
issue I have with Stronger. It
Okay,
needs a little more grit to it. I feel like.
you're right. It's gritless. It is gritless. It is my favorite though because it has a pulse. It
Hmm.
has some artistic signature to it.
Yeah,
It has
it
a
just it's
flavor. It's like someone said nutmeg in the room 3 doors down 4 years ago. Like it has flavor.
I don't know. It needs a little more depth of flavor.
It
Like, because
definitely
right now
does.
it's giving I threw a bay leaf in there. Um like it was a
It is
dry bay
giving,
leaf.
that is a perfect way to put it. I threw a bay leaf in there.
Um I think there's a bay leaf. What else did you do garlic or onion or anything? No, I just threw a bay leaf in there.
It's
Um
like I might pepper it later.
yeah.
But
Uh
it does have a pulse. It's the only one that I feel like has that out of the seven, out of the whole seven. Are there any that we haven't talked about yet that could demonstrate that a little bit?
um, human eyes.
Oh, hell
I
no.
don't remember that
Oh,
song.
no. Oh, no, 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 no. Like, Luxembourg, I don't even feel bad for you anymore. Like, what? What? Is it like an embarrassment thing? Is it like a humiliation thing? Um, I
Aren't they
humanize.
Germany? Germany and Luxembourg. It's like that meme of like the hands shaking. Germany, Luxembourg hands shaking over humiliation can't get Eurovision. Um,
I mean, like it's been 2 years since they returned after like 50 or whatever, and they are taking it only Swedishly seriously.
oh my gosh.
I
No, they have people on here who aren't Swedish. Like I know they've been dogging on Swedish songwriting camps. On that song, yeah, they've got a Swede on Human Eyes. It looks like two Swedes. Um,
That song in particular is very Swedish sounding to me.
yeah. But like on other songs, like I'm looking at one, that one doesn't have a Swede on it. That like and there's honestly more people writing songs on here that are Luxembourgish, it looks like. What is this abbreviation? SV is Swedish, isn't it? Yep, that's
SV.
a Swede. Yeah.
Yep. Hmm.
I'm just looking at like songwriters' names and stuff. I'm like, yeah, a few of these are definitely, Swede heavy. Like Ride, that also sounds like a low key church group song. Should I
Yeah.
put that in my cult playlist?
Is it good enough to go onto it?
I don't think so because my cult playlist has some Stone Cold classics,
Hmm.
like just basically songs that have the vibe of like, oh, I joined a cult in accident. Um, yeah, yeah. So it's just it's there. I but literally Human Eyes, I do not remember at all.
It's very DMGP sounding. Is has probably one of the most DMGP sounding songs, bar the Supernova songs. It's insane. Also, I just out of I want to say maybe the less than 100 songs we've heard so far this national final season. I think it's been less than 100. If I were to make a bottom 10, this would encompass at least like 6 of the bottom 10 of my favorite songs this year. Like it, I am so outrageously disappointed by the selection, and I'm only disappointed because they're back. They need to take this seriously, in my opinion. Is it better than last year? Yes. Is it still the worst thing? Yes. It's kind of where I'm at.
I think that it's an improvement. You have to remember they're kind of coming in this after decades, and the game's completely changed. Um,
Okay, but
like I I
I.
I feel like there's gonna be growing pains no matter what.
Mhm.
But I want to be like, how about we stop pulling songs that Sweden's going? I don't want this. It feels like you're getting the songs that Sweden said no to. Denmark was like, no, thank you as well.
No,
And
thank
then
you.
Malta was like, no. You know
Even
what I mean?
Malta, Little Miss songwriting camp was just like,
Mm-mm. I'm good, but thanks. Um, Or maybe these are the songs that Malta's fighting with. Malta and Luxembourg are fighting for the same like songs.
I could hear crossover because a lot of them sound like, oh, this beat drop, this like weird brassy trumpety beat drop is so Maltese, but it's like such a pastiche of Jamaicas, like. Mm. But I'm
Yeah.
not talking specifically about this Luxembourgese selection. I think I'm more talking about Malta and rambling on it. But
Yeah. But we'll see what happens. It's just like a matter of like you've got it, and like I worry because I feel like we're seeing less Swedish songwriters, which is an improvement.
mhm.
Okay. Just like I said, looking over the names, there's like 3-4 songs on here that have no Swedes. So
Which
we
is
are
good.
getting an improvement there. There's also no songs with Stardust's name on them. But yeah, like that's just
Dardus, that's your first strike. That was your first strike because what the hell do you mean?
um yeah.
I
Right,
mean,
comment.
I do look
Uh
forward. Oh, you're looking at the comments. Okay.
you can speak. Go ahead.
I do look forward to seeing how they stage everything, given that they now have a year's experience in production value.
Hmm.
And I do feel like with staging, I will be able to open up to a couple of the entries because they have more experience with that now. And they didn't have necessarily bad staging for their national final. The songs sucked. The songs suck this year. But who knows? The staging might carry it to a meaningful degree. Arya Winning Sun says, I hope, I honestly think Rafaela will win the selection if he just has good choreo, because if Fighter can win, no thank you, Kindamo. It has English energy, you know? It has like an Englishy energy to me. Like
There's
something
nothing wrong
about
with a
it.
bit of English.
No,
Like
no, nothing's wrong with it. I mean, I love English, but it's giving that vibe.
oh man, I'm just laughing because every time you say English, it makes me think of Miyavi, aka I don't know if I've ever spoken about. I've probably spoken about it on stream. He used to call his English Ingshit instead of English.
I
It's
mean,
like
I
a
respect that.
Ingshit. His English has improved dramatically. But I think marrying an American and living in the U.S. part time might have helped with that.
Hmm.
Okay. I just
What do you think is most likely going to happen with Luxembourg
oh
after they select
Wendy,
their song? First,
a
Israel,
revamp.
then what I mean, the Fighter revamp. Boy,
It was an improvement,
it was
a
an
better
improvement.
revamp than that.
It
Oh
was.
yeah. Anyways, Wendy's comment: first Israel, then Sweden. Who's next? Maybe Ukraine can teach them a lesson. Honestly, call the Ukrainians. If you were going to start a national final and you want advice, call the Ukrainians in.
Ukraine, yeah, Ukraine could improve them drastically because it will give them just a little sprinkle of flavor, and then everyone will go, and then everyone will be addicted. Please,
Yeah,
it that
yeah.
that could really do them a huge favor.
Has
I
anyone else been on Ukrainian theater TikTok, or is that just me?
uh, I didn't even know that was a community, but thank you.
Sorry. I thought about that because my For You page for the last 2 weeks has been this Ukrainian man performing as the MC from Cabaret,
Mhm.
and people just making thirst traps about him, and then him reposting the thirst traps, and then making a video saying, "I'm sorry, my English isn't good," talking about how he appreciates all the love holding his pet cat. It's very wholesome for everybody. Um, never mind. We could talk about the Crucible later.
Oh my God, yeah, we were talking about the Crucible. That is crazy.
Sorry. Anyways, yeah. Can you
That pretty
tell?
much
Like
wraps
this
up the
is so
stream, you
slow.
guys. We
Yeah, we made 45 minutes out of this, but we'll be back. I
Mhm,
guess we'll be back next week. Maybe
mhm,
not. If nothing happens, maybe we won't be back. We'll see. But
mhm.
keep an eye on social media because we are here to
Yeah,
keep vamp on everything. Um.
yeah,
Oh
and keep an eye on
no.
the site for any articles.
Yes. And I just saw a comment. I will not be destroyed. I I have a VPN, baby, and I know how to use it. Anyways,
Y'all will
thank
never
you
get
all
us.
so much. Anyways, thank you again. Yeah, we'll be back next week, same time-ish, or maybe not. Just Eurovision Fam on social media pages, and
Yep.
go to EurovisionFam.com to read the articles. The articles are linked in the description box. Thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you again soonish.
See you next year, you guys. Happy New Year.
Oh my God, you're right. It will be next year.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right.
See you in
Thank you.
2025.
Bye. I didn't hit the button.